Alright, welcome back. Now that we've set up our company settings, we've added a customer, it's time to create an invoice. So up here, click on Invoicing. Again, there's multiple ways you can create an invoice. You can simply click this button here. You can click here to create an invoice or use the plus sign. So let's go ahead and click on Create Invoice here. And this page will open up. Now notice if you click on Send Invoice, that these fields light up red. These are the mandatory fields. So we definitely want to select the customer and we want to put in the name of an item and description and cost. That's the very least that's mandatory on every single invoice. So let's start at the top. The first thing we want to do is make sure that this is our invoice date. So we'll select 6/11/2018. And let's say we're going to give this customer 30 days to pay. So we'll select July 11th, 2018. Now you remember the invoice number we put in here. This is going to be 00100. Invoice, the invoice title we have set as invoice. If we would have changed this to estimate or receipt, it would have updated it here, but you can also edit it here if you'd like as well. Cool. Job description. The job description is going to be a simple description of this invoice or project name. That way it's much easier for both you and the customer to reference it to. So in this case, we'll put in web dev project. Our logo is already updated. Our logo is already showing here since we added it in the customer settings. Now it's time to select the customer. So we have one customer we added, which was Apex Concepts Corp. Now let's say we want to add another customer, or we're halfway through an invoice and realize that we didn't add the customer. We can do that easily by clicking right here. The window will pop up, and as in the last video, we just add the customer right here. We'll click cancel for now and select the one we just added. It'll show their contact information here. Now let's say you're looking at this and you made a mistake. You can simply click edit, update the customer here, and it'll reflect right away. Now let's say we're doing a website project form. We'll just call this development, and in the description we'll put this in. Cost of, let's say, $2,500. Quantity is 1. Here you'll notice we can add an additional item or a time entry. So let's add another item, and we'll call that logo design. We'll add a quick description here. We'll put in 750 and quantity 1. Next, let's say we want to charge them for a time entry. So we'll click on time entry and we'll say consulting. Now let's say we met with this customer on site and we'll put this in. Let's say we charge them $150 for 2.5 hours. And let's add another time entry, call it photography. Just on site at 150 times, let's say 7.5 hours. Scroll down, look at our totals. So we have a subtotal, invoice total, and the balance. Now let's take a look at what we have here on the right. There's a lot of options here and a lot more to come. So if you remember, in our settings, we selected that PayPal was our default payment option. So it's already selected here. The reason we added currency here is so you can select which currency you want to use on an invoice level. Now if your default selected to USD and you want to change this to, for example, SOS, you can simply do that. And the next invoice you create, it will automatically default back to USD. Now let's scroll down so you can see what these features here do. So first, let's say we want to give this customer a percentage discount of, let's say, 15%. You'll see that added right here. Now you remember those two taxes we added in the settings? They're right here, sales tax and other tax. So let's say we're doing a sales tax of 10% and another flat tax, whatever that may be, of, let's say, $175. You're going to see both of those right here. Next, the pay to date field is if the customer's paid any money on this invoice. So let's just select, so let's say they've paid $1,500. This will show that they've paid $1,500 to date and their total balance is $31.16.25. Let's go ahead and save this invoice. And it'll show right here. Now, if we go back to customers, and if we open up this customer, we're going to see exactly what's been billed out. But let's go back into invoicing, open this invoice up, and this is what you're going to see. So let's click on edit, and let's say we want to send an invoice. So click on send invoice. This will pop up. It'll automatically show the email that we entered in our company settings. It'll populate your customer's email. It'll automatically create a subject, as well as a default message that you can change at any time. It'll show that your invoice is attached, as well as your PayPal address is enabled. Now, if you want to send this invoice without giving them the ability to pay via PayPal, you can just simply turn that off for this invoice and click on send, and you're on your way. Now, downloading the invoice is really easy. Simply click on download. If you want to email it to yourself, keep this enabled. If not, simply turn it off and click on download invoice. Voila. Now, if you want to preview your invoice before you send or download it, click on preview, and there it is. This wraps it up for our invoicing section. There's a lot more features coming up. We can't wait to share them with you. In the meantime, if you'd like to suggest a feature, simply scroll down to the bottom, click on Suggest Feature. Or if you need help, simply click on Support. Send us a support ticket. We'll get back to you right away. Happy invoicing.